The Soho House and Manhattan restaurants of how the Welsh Labour splurged £1.5 million. We're going to read into this story from the Telegraph, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Telegraph with the headline of Soho House and Manhattan restaurants of how the Welsh Labour splurged £1.5 million. It says here that the party spent nearly £1.5 million on company cards across the 2022-2023 financial year, an 81% increase on the previous year. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Regan, why are you covering a story from the Telegraph? That's a very good question. Very good question. And you've been covering stories from other right-wing outlets as well. What's going on? Well, there's only so much from the outlets that I get you that as well. The usual outlets that I get you as well. There's only so many stories here. Now, I will say, obviously, before I comment on this, I will say, first of all, do take this with a pinch of salt, because I did try to see this on... tried to see this in other outlets and I did not. So this story could very well, there could be nothing here whatsoever to this story, because I did try to find this story in other outlets and I could not. So I would say do take this with a bit of a pinch of salt, I will say, obviously, on this. And as to now, if it is true, which I do find it, I do find it a bit of a stretch, but we'll read what the article says, because here's the thing, guys, and the Daily Mail is very good at doing this as well. They put a headline in front of you to make it say, "Oh, they splurged this much," but then when you read into it, it's not always that way. Now, let's just say hypothetically, let's say this is true. This is outrageous if it was. If they have splurged, or splurged on company cards that amount of money. That I think that is a huge amount of money if it is. Some people may argue that this is perfectly normal, this is perfectly all right. I think it's a bit too much, me personally. But I will just say, obviously, that we're just talking about the Welsh Labour here. We're not talking about the whole of the UK Labour Party here as well. So let's read into it. And I'll give my initial thoughts in a bit, but like I said, because it's from the Telegraph, do take it with a pinch of salt. So, the Welsh Labour Government used taxpayer money to pay for meals at restaurants in Manhattan and visits to a Soho House in Hollywood in a £1.5 million spending spree. Okay, this is what they're claiming. The party spent $1.5 million, just under, on company cards across the 2022-2023 financial year. Data shows an 81% increase on the $821,000 spent the previous year. Now, documents show the Welsh Government's cards were used in April and March 2022 to pay bills of £7,949 and £15,933 at Zou Zou, a Manhattan restaurant serving Eastern Mediterranean dishes, such as a $51 lobster kebab and $130 fire roasted lamb. Why is lamb costing $130? Another £5,158 was spent in November 2022 at the exclusive members clubs in Soho House in West Hollywood. Marketed as a place for creative thinkers to eat, think, and relax, the club allowed members to book out event spaces, enjoy its gym, spa, and dine at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Menus online show one option at $56, £42 truffle pizza. While it is not known what exactly the bill covers, the expenses is categorised as expeditions and events. A total of £2,912 was also spent on products and services from GoPro website, which specialises in cameras that can be worn while filming or taking part in extreme sports. In December 2022, the cards paid for a £625 bill for Mimo Limousine Car Service, a limo and chauffeur car firm based in Montreal, Canada. The document shows that the Welsh Government spent £178 at a Texan barbecue restaurant in Dallas, with the expenses categorised as corporate hospitality. Online menus show a pulled pork sandwich and a side cost of $12 in the same month. Just over £2,000 was spent on a French catering firm in April. these numbers. Yeah, but as of right now, all these numbers don't add up to the cost that they were saying, 1.5 million. I just want to point that out there. A further 256 was spent on Total Wine and More, an American alcohol retailer, days later. Other expenses listed including 1,464 spent at a marine and water sport clothing specialist in North York, and 277 pounds at a firm which specialises in production of national flags. The expenses have been published after Welsh Labour said it was considering raising income tax 2 months after the UK-wide party told voters that the rate would not be increased. Mark Drakeford, the former Welsh First Minister, who is now Finance Secretary, said the changes would be looked at for the Welsh Government's budget in December 2024. Labour-run Wales also has 9 times as many NHS hospitals rates of more than a year compared with England, according to the Office of National Statistics figures released over the summer. Keir Starmer and UK-wide parties endured heavy criticism over even published the registered gifts. Yep, we've already talked about all that, the free clothes and stuff. I've covered it in other stories. Andrew R.T. Davis, leader of the Welsh Conservatives, said, "You couldn't make this up. The Labour Welsh Government is literally dining out on the backs of taxpayers as they complain about tight financial constraints and NHS waiting lists ballooned for 6 consecutive record-breaking months." Labour also struggled to justify spending thousands of swanky holiday members' clubs when hard-pressed taxpayers in Wales are struggling to make ends meet. It seems that Labour at both ends of the M4 are addicted to luxury, but it's always someone else who pays for it. They can't say crap. The Conservatives can't say shit with the amount of money that they've been spending. So a Welsh Government spokesperson said procurement cards reduce administration costs and are used by the government departments across the UK. We have a rigorous process in place to limit, monitor and control their use. Transactions are renewed, required approval by senior managers and are subject to regular internal audit. Transparency is important when we publish detailed information on procurement cards use every year. The added examples of procurement cards to use include fueling and maintenance of Welsh Government fisheries, protection vessels renewal software license, health, safety, reliable expenditures and overseas events, and expeditions to promote Wales, including extensive St David's Days activities. The latest figures reflect a return to pre-pandemic levels of travel and promotional activity. So this is some of their Welsh number spending sprees that were talked about in that they had in the article there. So where is the rest of this money that they're saying? So where's the rest of this? They haven't got a breakdown of this. So this feels a little bit misleading here, because they've said this is how much has been spent on company cards, but they haven't broken it down completely. They've given some examples in the article, but they've not given like a complete breakdown of it. So I can understand the criticisms of the Welsh Labour of the money that they're spending. I can totally understand that. But this headline, they're saying they splurged 1.5 million. They're saying this on company cards. Well, where's the breakdown in the article? There's none. So I do have, again, like I said, to take a pinch of salt with this. That's the thing. And like I said, I did try to find another outlet covering it. And if you type in the same title, looking at it, I couldn't find anything. So, like I said, do take it with a massive pinch of salt. But they did respond to it, and they said that it's all transparent and everything. So there's nothing illegal about what they're doing. But like I said, with the same thing with you have to apply with the gifts and donations, it definitely doesn't come across right in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't look right in any way. I think it does smell a bit fishy without a shadow of a doubt. But this is coming from the Telegraph, this article. So, like I understand why people would complain about me covering the story from them. But I do think I just want to put it out there for people, and you can decide what you want, make what you want of it. I'm probably going as far as to say that this story is probably BS, because they've not been very clear about that headline. I think that headline is very misleading, because they haven't given the details. While they have given out some numbers there, I do think it's a bit misleading if you're not going to give the full details of it as well. This doesn't excuse Labour if they are spending some of the money that they are claiming, that spokesperson said they are claiming they should not be spending such rigorous money. I understand that it's a very difficult job for what they do, but also MPs are paid pretty well as well. So there are questions need to be raised if it is indeed they have been spending these kinds of money as well. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But what do you guys honestly think about this story? Do you think there's some truth to the matter? Do you honestly think that the Welsh Labour Government or splurged 1.5 million? Do you think there's any credibility to this story at all? Given the fact that I haven't found anywhere else, let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.